this is for a Saudi national player. This is the dream. You're learning from the best on the job every day. Imagine being in the change room with Cristiano Ronaldo. I was saying this to the young players at Man United. Just how lucky you are to be in the change room with this guy. Or when Zlatan was there. Or Cavani was there. Do you know how lucky you are to be in there, to see every day, watch them, how they walk, how they breathe, how they recuperate, how they prepare, how they eat, how they train, what they train, what type of training they do, at the intensity. To see that every day, imagine.
Rio Ferdinand.
How you doing?
First of all, good. I'm really glad to be here talking to you. I don't want to present you as a legend only, a football legend. I want to introduce to the fans that you're an investor for Koora Break.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, why did you decide to invest in Koora Break?
First, my relationship with Khalid, who works with SMC. He's the one who introduced me to Koora Breaks. And then I'm involved in media. In the UK, I have my own company, Rio Presents, where we do loads of massive interviews. You would have seen the Ronaldo interview, the Beckham interview recently. We have some great ones coming, so watch out. But no, I'm interested in becoming part of an exciting project, exciting media opportunity here in the region. I'm looking to do more things here, and I think it was an easy kind of thing for me because the amount of traction it has for football, all football news, it's the biggest football news platform here in the region. So for me, it was easy. I love football. I love talking about football. I want to be involved in football all the time. What better place to do it? And it's also speaking to an audience that don't necessarily always see me. Do you know what I mean? Arabic speaking platform. I think that's important as well.
It is.
And I think sharing information, sharing knowledge, sharing stories, sharing interviews with fans from different parts of the world, from different cultures, in their language, in your language, I think is important. So to be an investor, to be part of the company, creating strategies and ideas going forward, I think it's going to be exciting.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Let's go deep into Rio Ferdinand and go back, since you were in an academy, to West Ham Academy, which was well known as one of the finest academies in England. Lombard, you, much for players. How did that influence the Ferdinand to the person right now that we see?
Yeah, I think one of the things, even when I played, but also since I was playing in my new life after football, I think having a strong work ethic has always been a big thing. And I got that from my parents initially. My mum and dad, hard workers, always working hard, helping other people, but also working hard for themselves and their family. That's something that I took on board. But at West Ham, it was part of our growing up as well. The academy there, myself and Frank Lampard especially, pushed each other. I saw him working on something. I can't let him work more than me. I want to be better. Different positions, but I don't want people to notice him before me. He's the same about that with me, always pushing. Challenging each other. And I think you see great players or people that are successful, there's someone else in their life where there's a challenge to push. Messi, Ronaldo. Do you know what I mean? Federer and Nadal. Do you know what I mean? You look at that and you see Prost and Senna with the F1. So the great rivalries produce great individuals. And I think we had that at West Ham with Frank Lampard. I'm not saying we're this level, but I needed somebody to look at and go, oh, he's doing more, he's doing extra. Where am I going to get my little percentage to get better? And it was just like this the whole time. So it was a great place to start.
Maybe that the way of thinking made that change from West Ham to Leeds United with a big amount of contract offer. How did you receive that information? How was the changing for yourself?
I was shopping with my dad. I was in a shop with my dad to buy groceries. I just had a new flat apartment and we're shopping for groceries off maybe some knives and forks to buy. And I had a phone call from the CEO at the time, and he said, Rio, you need to come into the office. I said, what for? What have I done? We've accepted a bid for you from Leeds. When they done that, when they said they accepted, because I didn't really need to leave, I wasn't looking to leave at that time. But when they said they accepted, I was gone. I then just had to go and negotiate. So I went and I met Leeds the next night in my agent's house in London. And I remember that the chairman was talking to me, about the CEO was saying, oh yeah, we're going to offer you this money, a world record for a defender, and this is the wages. And I said, listen, with all due respect, the money will take care of you. You speak to this guy. Can I speak to the manager? I need to know if he's going to make me a better player. And I spoke to the manager and he answered the questions I had. Are you going to train me? Are you going to drill me? Are you going to be on top of me all the time to make me better? And he explained how he would do it. And I was like, okay, now I'm happy. Now the money, what are we talking about? Let's do it. And it was done. But it was a good stage for me in my development to go to Leeds, young team, loads of really good players, Champions League football. Next step, it wasn't Man United, but it was the next step in between.
Then Man United, still the big record for a contract as a player, as a defender. Back in the days, these numbers were a lot.
Yeah, well, it was the world record for transfer for me at that time for defender. And yeah, it was great because at the time it was big pressure because you had big players like the centre backs then was like crazy, like Maldini, Nesta, Cannavaro, then you had Thuram, like these like huge players, and then to get that fee was crazy. And to go to Man United. And I was never someone who was really about money. It was just about the success, trophies, being at the best club to win. And when Man United came and Sir Alex Ferguson, and I'd met Sir Alex Ferguson before, and he told me he wanted to sign me. And it was like meeting the Godfather. You know, it was just like, what do I even call him? Alex, Sir Alex, boss. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say, but he was very clear. He wanted me to come and help the project to become even better than they were.
Did you start believing that this is happening? I mean, it's
and I went
new.
I went to the World Cup in 2002, and I was still at Leeds, still a Leeds player. And that's when the players like Nicky Butt and the Nevilles and that were talking to me about coming to Man United. You've got to come, you have to come. And I was like, well, what's it like? And then by the time the World Cup finished, I played well in the World Cup, and then the transfer was done in the summer. So yeah, to sign there and to become part of Man United. I remember in the press conference, I said they asked me, what do you want to achieve? And I always find that a funny question. You want to win? Easy. But there's winning, and then there's, like I said, there's being able to walk out when I finish at Man United with my head high, and I've put my own little bit of ingredients in the history of the club and be a part of something. And luckily, I was lucky to get to that point where I did walk out of the club with my head high, and I added something positive to the club's history.
That time with Alex Ferguson was the shining time of Man United. Well, all the fans right now, maybe I'll jump to another story, but all the fans are waiting. When are we going to see a same team like that? What's missing? What's really missing?
I don't know. If I know the answer, I would be there now as the CEO or the sporting director. No.
Was it the players, the coach?
I think everything. I don't think it's one ingredient that changes everything. I think that everyone's Sir Alex Ferguson left. It wasn't just Sir Alex Ferguson. Because when he left, the CEO left as well, David Gill, who he was there with for years, and they were a team. And they were part of a team that made it successful. But then the players as well. He had huge, experienced players, big characters, men, leaders, captains of country in that squad. And he also had players that had come through the ranks in the academy there who know and they understand the feeling of the club. So all those ingredients together then leave the club at one time almost. Any business would fall down like that.
Yes.
So I think they're in the process now of rebuilding. Ineos have come in new, more football people that are in the football club who have experience in football and running football clubs. Now the new manager is coming in. He's been successful in a different league, lesser league, I understand that, but he seems to have good credentials. We'll see what happens. But he's got a group of players who have all underperformed. Every one of those players will tell you, if you ask them now, they sit here and you say one by one, have you performed to your best abilities at Manchester United while you've been there? None of them can say yes. They've had big, good games here and there, but consistently, none of them can say, I've been my best. Bang, 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 week in, week out. No, they haven't. The only one who's close, Bruno. You don't agree?
No. It's you the one talking. I don't.
What do you think? Do you agree or not?
I agree that there's always good times and bad times.
Yeah, but
and there's no such thing called 100%.
But Man United don't have bad times. That's the point. That's what we've always known from 20 years ago. For 20 years is the top team.
Yes.
So you become used to that and you expect that every week. The fans expect it. The club expects it.
What will happen if you lose? And of course you lost once.
Yeah, we lost. My team lost. Well, if you look at the record, how many times did we lose 2 games on the spin? I was there 13 years, not often. Because there was these little things, the culture, the environment. We lose 1, but we don't lose 2. Listen, it happens. But at least the culture demanding of the players, whoa, this is not, no, we don't accept this. We don't accept that. The standards every day in training, high. You speak to the players from our time, the training was harder than the games, 95% of the time. Because I'm playing against Ronaldo in training, Rooney, Tevez, Berbatov, Chicharito, Welbeck, Nani.
In their prime time.
Yeah, like this is Luis Saha. I'm playing against these guys every day. It's harder than the games I'm playing against on a Saturday, or even in the Champions League, a lot of the time. So it's that drive, that determination, those standards, they have to be met and they have to be maintained. And I think that's the job of the manager now and the staff at the club to get these guys, because they all have talent. And I'm saying this, I'm talking about they haven't performed consistently to the high level enough. But it doesn't mean they don't have talent. It doesn't mean these guys can't be great players. They can. But they've got to find a way, the manager has to find a way, the club have to find a way to get them performing consistently to their maximum.
From the way you're talking, I see many clubs with a huge talent, but they're not playing as the way that you were talking about. Why it's that right now?
Yeah, it comes to culture. It comes to culture, management, the recruitment, the players themselves. You look at Man City, Pep. One of the biggest things they have outside of ability is consistency. You know what you're going to get from them. Listen, they lost the last 4 games. Obviously, but that's never happened to a Pep team. Consistently churns out results. There's a demand. There's a desire. There's an application every day, every week. Consistency. So, and their standards, they're high, and it's hard to get to that. Because to go in every day, listen, in your life, the guys who are behind the cameras, to go in every day and your standard to be there every day is not easy mentally.
No, it's not.
Every day getting up, I'm going to be the best I can be. My intention is to be the best. Sometimes I won't be the best, but my intention is every day to be the best. It's hard, man.
There's another stuff out of this stadium. There's life, there's families. Maybe there's a problem that will affect you.
You know how much time I lost with family? Do you know how many parties or weddings, christenings, the birth of one of my children, you miss, sacrifice you have to make. Parts of your life have to be put like this over there, and the number one focus is football. If you want to be the best, not for a day or 1 year, 2, 4, 5 years, 10 years, you have to do that. There's no way you can live both. Enjoying, here, yeah, go there, yeah. And be the best. You could do it a couple of times, once a month, once every few, but not boom, boom, boom.
Speaking of that, let me ask you about your friend, Ronaldo. Since the arrival when he was young to Man United, did you feel something about that guy, that he will be like this?
This is what he's good at. Well, this is what he's great at. He's great at blocking out everyone and everything to be the best. And in years to come, his family will tell you, his son, Chris Jr., will tell you, I didn't get the most of my dad when he was playing. I probably didn't get what some other kids get with their parents, their dad. I'm guarantee you that his kids will say this. His wife will say this. His family will say this. But they understand it. And you need that as well. You need your family and friends to understand that you can't be as much with them. You got to be like this. You try and give your time to your family, but how many times I was with my family, but I know they could sit there and think, oh, but his mind is there.
He's not with us.
Yeah. But the best players, the most elite athletes or elite business people, their families will all say this. They're obsessed. They're not wired properly. They're different. And Cristiano is at the top 1% of this, even less, probably.
So if his family weren't supporting him in that way, we won't see Ronaldo like that.
No, you need every great player needs the support of a good wife, but also good family members, good friends. And Cristiano's got a great team around him in that sense, good family. I mean, Georgina, the kids, the mum, huge sisters, and then friends, a close network of friends that are there from the beginning all the way to the end. He's lucky to have that as well, but it's because he's a good guy as well. Do you know what I mean? He's a genuine guy, but
through the time when Man United, how did your friendship? How did it start from the beginning and until we saw from the last program you guys did?
It's taking the mick of each other. I think all good friendships, there's always jokes. Do you know what I mean? We're serious times, serious conversations, debate. You love to debate, but it's more, can I swear? You're taking the piss of each other, you know? It's like in the change room, this is the normal in the change room. We come in, I look at your clothes. Sometimes you're picking up his clothes and putting it on the hanger up there, and he comes in, everyone's going, ah. But he doesn't care. He laughs. So, and he was young, and he needed good influences from in the change room. I was one of them. Other players were in different ways, and his house was next to mine, so 2 doors up. So I used to see him a lot, but he's gone on to become crazy. What he's done and achieved has been crazy.
After the competition between Ronaldo and Messi, from your experience, are we able to see players like that?
At that level?
Do you see? Yeah. Do you
I don't know in my lifetime if we'll see two players at the same time get to this level together and fight it out. Who's the best?
Because you were saying in the beginning, you need the competition, you need same level competition. That's probably if Messi was this or Ronaldo was
almost we were talking about it. We've been talking about it. Mbappe, Haaland. They're not going to be that level. They're top players. They're great players. Don't get me wrong. But they're not Messi and Ronaldo level. They're not. And I don't know if they're going to go like this as much because you've got other people that are trying to get into this now, the conversation. And like Vinicius Jr. is now in that conversation. In a couple of years, Lamine Yamal might be coming into that conversation. Do you know what I mean? Rodri's now the Golden Ball winner. Cristiano and Messi, it was only Cristiano, Messi, Cristiano. That was it. There's other people, there's more players now, a more bigger pool of players that are talking in this conversation. Jude Bellingham's going to want to be in that conversation. Do you know what I mean? There's so many players that it's not just two guys who are going, it's just us. It's not just Federer and Nadal. Then Djokovic came, but it was only 3. It's not 4 or 5.
Let me ask you about the national team, for example. Sorry, I'm switching. I'm switching conversation because this is a big opportunity, and I get because to be honest with you, I want whoever sees us from the players get hints from you, get answers, get ideas if they're really willing to be something in the future. But your time in the England national team, it was amazing, but unfortunately
we won nothing.
Yeah. Why?
We wasn't good enough. Good individuals, but not a good team because we didn't like each other enough. I didn't like Steven Gerrard. I didn't like Carragher because they wanted to win the Premier League. I want to win the Premier League. I liked Frank Lampard, but I didn't give him a lot of my time. John Terry, but stay there. Ashley Cole, but stay there. We was never really a group like this. The best teams that I played in when we won, we was always together, always knitted together, all wanted to win together. Anything, I'm backing you, I'm there. Talk to you, you're on your own on the table, having lunch, I'll sit with you, no problem. Didn't feel like that with England.
Take care of me, I'll take care of you. We're like a family.
Because the clubs they was overriding our ability to form connections with each other. I was too obsessed with winning with Man United. I was too obsessed with making sure Liverpool can't win, or Chelsea or Arsenal. They got Man City, they can't win. And if their players are in a change, and it's not just me, they were the same with me. I've spoken to Stevie about this, Frank Lampard about this.
The competition was crazy.
Yeah, the competition was, it was much more, it feels like it was more angry back then, do you know what I mean? It was more feisty. But it's like, whereas now, I think with social media, it's relaxed everybody a little bit. They still all want to win. These guys want to win. But there isn't that spark. I don't know what it is. There's not that.
You feel like there's something missing.
Yeah, we was nasty sometimes. Aggressive. I don't know if these guys are, because they're all friends on social media. I mean, they all, it's different. But it will make for a better England team. Because these guys, their team's better than ours. They've been to the finals, they've been to the semis, they're consistently getting there now. Haven't won yet, but they're better than us. If you look at our list of players, we have about 25, 30 players, 25 and under, 26 and under. So the depth we have now is a big quality of depth.
Yeah.
So we've got.
But you won the Champions League with Man United.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was great, man. To win the Champions League, it was dreams. I was captain of the Leeds team. We got to the semi-final. And I thought, wow, after that, am I going to get there again? And is it possible? I got close, knocked out. And you start thinking, like, this is our chance. This is our best team in 2008. I'm playing at the back with Nemanja Vidic, Patrice on the left, Wes Brown on the right, Edwin behind, Scholes, Carrick, Owen Hargreaves, these guys.
That's more like a dream team.
Then you look and you go, also we have Cristiano, Rooney, Tevez, Luis Saha. If I don't win it this year, I will never win it. It was desperate, and it became obsessive. I became obsessed with it, and it was just lucky that this year we managed to win it. But I can't actually describe how the feeling is still to this day. That feeling of winning that trophy at that moment was difficult to put into words.
Against the Barcelona team, how was it losing?
We was having a good interview until you said that. The interview was good until you mentioned Barcelona. No, the Barcelona, this is the best club team ever. Barcelona, Pep, Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. Bro. We were a great team. But when we got them, I would say I was speaking to someone the other day. Who was I speaking to? Ryan Giggs. I went to Salford, his team, and we were speaking, and he was saying, it gets on my nerves. Everyone always says that Barcelona are the best and they beat us. And I said, yeah, what do you mean? He said, don't forget we were an aging team. We were an old team. They were a young, coming up, hungry team. And he was saying, if we met them 3-4 years earlier and they come at the same time, he said, it's a different game, different result. And I agree.
Well,
we will never know.
Yeah, but from the way that you were talking, it was unbeatable. Manchester was unbeatable, to be honest with you.
We had a good
what
team.
We used to watch on TV back in the days.
What was great about that Man United team in 2008, so the period of 2006 to 2010 probably, is that we could win a game anyway. We could fight you if you want to fight. We could outrun you if it was a running game, transition. We could sit back and defend and wait and counter-attack you. Or we could outplay you. We could do it any way you want. And that was why that team was a special team for me.
How do you feel when you watch Man United right now?
Like every fan. please, help us. Get us better. Why? What? Who? Where? Oh my God.
What's going on?
Like, confused. Like, it's... And that's what I'm hoping to see now of this manager. I'm really interested to see how he changes things. I think he's got a really good way with people. I think his interviews are really, really impressive. His communication skills. And I think management today is a lot about communicating.
Yeah.
Can you communicate to the players your ideas? The one who does that clearest and best and consistently wins. Klopp was great at it. Pep is great at it. Slot looks very good at it now at Liverpool. Mikel Arteta looks good at it. This guy now at Man United, Amorim, looks good at it. So he needs to...
Communication is everything right now.
Yeah.
You're living in a life that communication will make you succeed.
Exactly. So
Without it,
you sink. So, and I think up to this point, Man United have probably lacked in this area. With managers, with the people who run in the club, the communication through between all the lines has maybe been an area where they haven't been strong. But it wouldn't be just that area. There's lots of different areas.
You, speaking since we are in Saudi Arabia, and we're glad to see you as well. It's not the first time you came here at the Sami Al-Jaber retirement match.
Yeah. I remember that.
Probably in what 2011, 9. I don't know.
I'm not sure the date. By
I'm not sure.
2009, I think. Maybe. Yeah.
How
sure.
was it back in the days?
Yeah, it was. We had a great time. When I was with Nemanja Vidic and Nemanja Vidic. Was it Nemanja or Giggsy? I might have been. And we talked about coming here because we had a really good time here. It was mid-season, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, I think it was.
We came for a couple of days. We went to Palace. We had great food. We were all in on quad bikes together. It was like an amazing trip, like adventure. And I remember we didn't think about the stadium.
It was packed.
And we got there and we was like, whoa. We didn't realise that people loved football so much here. Full stadium. It was maybe ignorance on our part. We just didn't know. Didn't know what to think.
No social media. We did not communicate.
No social media, no communication. Yeah. So when we came, it was such a pleasant surprise. Like, whoa, this is amazing, man. So I've always known the football here, people love it. They love it. So fast forward to today, it doesn't surprise me when you see the stadiums and the people and the interest.
And you've been such a supporter guy for the players to come to Saudi Arabia, and we saw that. We heard it in the news. What made you take this decision? What do you think of the future of the Saudi League?
Yeah, I just thought it was, it's weird. I didn't actually think about it. It just, when I see situations, I just say what I think. And I was honest. And some people maybe are more political and feel they need to speak because of a certain political stance or how they're going to be seen. I just say what I think from the heart. And I saw a lot of people talking in the media. A lot of media corporations were talking about very negatively about Saudi Arabia and making big judgments. And I was like, the countries where these people are speaking from, are these countries perfect? Do they not make mistakes? Are they not making mistakes even today? But you're judging. I don't understand that. Do you know what I mean? So I just couldn't agree with that. So I have a platform, I speak, and it went out there, and I still believe that. I still stand by that. If a player wants to come to Saudi Arabia and play football, who are we to say no, he shouldn't do it, to judge? If he thinks it's the right thing for him, if he thinks it's the right place to play football, and the right stage of their career, go. I would go. If I was playing now today and it was the right time in my career and I wanted to do it, I would not care what anyone says. Go.
Some of them are worried about their national team, that they will not be called again or something like that, because they think that it's not easy to watch the Saudi League, but it's been shown in 120 channels. There's a big competition. How do you see this mix between the new generation of the Saudi footballers and the big stars, international stars who are coming?
I think that's a big thing. There needs to be, the balance needs to be right, because you have to remember, you guys beat the world champions. Saudi beat the world champions at the World Cup.
Yes.
But are all of those players still playing in their teams, or some of them, because of the influx of players coming?
The majority are playing.
Majority are playing. Yeah. They need to maintain that. And I think that was the only concern that I had when the influx of foreign players will come into the Saudi League, the big players, that if there's going to be too many, the balance maybe will affect the national team. Now, if that's protected, then it's fantastic.
It depends on the quality of the player. You know, if he's really great and if he's doing the same thing that you said, dedicate, give it 100%, you'll get a chance to play.
But this is where I think the Saudi players can benefit, because they're seeing top-class professionals perform. The elite players perform. Their habits, their daily routines. This is for a Saudi national player, this is the dream. You're learning from the best on the job every day. Imagine being in the change room with Cristiano Ronaldo. I was saying this to the young players at Man United. Just how lucky you are to be in the change room with this guy. Or when Zlatan was there. Or Cavani was there. Do you know how lucky you are to be in there, to see every day, watch them, how they walk, how they breathe, how they recuperate, how they prepare, how they eat, how they train, what they train, what type of training they do, the intensity. To see that every day, imagine. But the important thing for these players, the Saudi players, is don't let these opportunities pass by and you've not taken everything you can get from these guys. You need to be really, really obsessed with taking the best parts out of these guys. That's what I've done as a player. That's what a lot of players do. You go into a change room and you take the best out of... Ryan Giggs was great at recovery. I've done yoga like him. I've done certain things like him. Paul Scholes every day, one of the best in the training. I try to be like that. This guy eats really well. Take this. These guys have to be sponges like this. They have to be like that. And it will impact the Saudi national team. It will impact the local league because they're seeing the best at it, the best doing it. Kante, how does he do what he does?
If Scholes was playing right now, how much will his contract be?
Scholes?
Yeah.
Oh, he'll write the check himself, whatever number he wants. Scholes, oof, amazing player. Amazing. I love playing with this guy.
He was such an amazing guy. I'm just imagining if that generation was here right now in this world of football, wow, how much it will be.
Well, it's crazy. But the best players today would be like the best players in my time. They're a different level. They can do what they want. They can ask for what they want because they're elite.
As let me ask you this question: as Saudi Arabia is heading to the vision of 2030, the initiative focusing on one of these focuses on sports, on football. How do you see the future of the Saudi football in general?
I see it growing and getting more powerful every year. I think the attention, the eyeballs are growing. TV deals, the content. I think that's an area there where a focus can be put, the content in terms of really amplifying what's going on. I think the same in Europe, the TV deals are great, but I think the content around those deals are as important, if not more at times, to really showcase what goes on and bring the fans closer. I think there's a huge appetite in this part of the world that you can tap into that and really kind of connect the players with the fans to understand, show the culture. But I don't see it stopping. I just don't see it. I think that the intentions are here. The energy is here to really build a league that can compete and be competitive. They started with Ronaldo and the story won't finish with him. But I think there's a real long-term play here that looks very exciting and really interested in looking forward to seeing how it plays out.
Well, for our last thing, do you want to say something that we haven't talked about asking players about the benefits that you saw? Any new player, young player who really wants to be something in the future, who's really playing right now but want to do something? What should they focus on?
Listen, man, for players, it's not. There's no new method or new kind of invention of this is the way it's going to work. Work hard, man. Work hard. Be a student. Watch the best. Learn from the best. Listen. Like every day, you can't always be your best, but your intention has to go out there to try to be your best every day and work your hardest. I have 2 young kids, 2 boys. They want to be footballers. All I talk about is work ethic. work hard. Working hard brings you some luck as well. I always thought that when I played, if I'm working hard, I'll get some luck somewhere. And it does. But you got to go out with the intentions every day to be working harder than everybody. Work harder than your competition.
Thank you so much, Rio
Thank you.
Ferdinand.
Nice
It's
to
been
see
a
you.
pleasure for me, to be honest with you.
Nice to see you, man.
Thank you so much.